Hello everybody, welcome back to Nioh 2. In this video, we are at the very end of New Game. All we have left to do is in the Eye of the Beholder. So this is going to be a quick, what should I say, final video as to kind of what a new player wants to be kind of working towards when they get towards the back end of the game. Some of this may be controversial to some people just because I haven't gone with any of the sets. That's mainly because we can't get them in a good state at the moment. But let's just go through what we've got here. So in the Nioh hunting set, just because we want Nioh magic power. That and untouched Nioh should be your main priority on your gear. You should have that on everything. Just to make sure that you're maximising your spells. Obviously this is indeed aimed at casters in case I didn't make that completely clear. In addition to that then, other things that we're going to be utilising and making good use of as we're going through. Black Fox Mask, we get damage bonus based on our Nioh magic power. Again, so that's kind of synergising with all this stuff, just making us a little bit stronger. Other things to be on the lookout for, particularly towards endgame. Elemental damage taken with a minus 11.9% on the chest there is massive. The final boss does a mix of elemental damage, and mitigating some of that is going to be a huge advantage. I was quite lucky to get this rolled on, so if you happen to see that, make sure you take it. Other stuff, just make sure you've got at least one piece of gear that has faster winded recovery. I'm fairly sure it doesn't stack, so as long as you've got it on one piece, you'll be fine. And then it's kind of dealer's choice after that. I didn't really spend too much time on the shoes, as you can see. I have obviously updated this gear since the last time I kind of did one of these videos, and so I'm just kind of going to put this in the walkthrough so that you guys can see how your gear should look. In addition, you'll also notice that some of my gear now has a +1 symbol on it. Now on your standard gear, that doesn't matter too much. It just kind of ups the defense slightly, which really isn't going to do us all that many favors on a caster build. But it is quite important on on your switchblade, if that's what you're using. But whatever melee weapon you're using, it's going to be pretty important. So what that allows you to do is, when you get a +1 weapon, you can come into the blacksmith and you can remodel it. And what that does is, as I'll show you here, mine's on specialization 1, which means we get no, specialization 3, which means we get extra scaling from our magic look, as you see. Or you can get extras in other stuff, but as a caster, this is probably going to be good what it is. As you can see, we go from 1048 to 1116. So it just gives us extra damage. In addition, on your weapon, it should be a fairly sizable priority for you to roll some kind of damage bonus on there. Familiarity is fine. If you can get an extra magic one on there with an A scaling, that's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's just going to make you wrecking stuff. Because we're at end game, we're facing a lot of yokai, so I highly recommend bringing purity. As far as I'm aware, yokai are not resistant to it, and it just makes them easier to take down. You could imbue with an element if you are going for a specific elemental build. I haven't really done anything based on that yet. I feel like there's a lot of flexibility in the mage since I've been playing in New Game Plus and stuff. There's a lot to kind of disperse and use there. So we're going into that at a later date. But for now, because we're just on New Game, we can't really focus in on any of that stuff properly yet. This is what I would advise. Bear in mind, this doesn't need to be perfect, but just try and make it something like this. Don't spend all of your resources until all of this gets to level 160 and it's green. This really isn't going to be anything that stays on your character. So as I was saying before, let's talk about the Genmei set, and there's the Nioh Warriors set as well. Look at the skill requirement down there, 15. That's quite an investment, and the other half of this actually has the same requirement in strength. Now, the reason I haven't spec'd towards that with this character is because when you can make it yourself, you can actually get that down to like 6, 7, or 8, which is what I've got on my main character. So you can save all of those points, and not have to kind of try and deal with getting the right stats on this, and getting the purple ones as well in normal New Game takes some farming, and you guys can do that if you want to farm kind of the missions in the final acts. That's cool, but for me, for the walkthrough, I didn't want to spend forever trying to farm a load of purple gear as drops because we can't craft it yet. You can't actually get the as far as I'm aware anyway, you can't actually get the the smithing text until late New Game Plus, which is where I got mine. They drop in quite late game missions, so just be aware of that. So we've gone over gear. Obviously at the bottom, you can see my selection of soul cores. Let's move across. Come up to Guardian Spirits. Make sure Genbu is your main Guardian Spirit. The anima bonus that you get from this is quite significant. Essentially means that we are using anima almost to support our casts, and you'll see that in the next episode when we're going through the final mission. Genbu just means that every time you hit something with a spell, your anima goes up by like two or three bars, and you just end up being able to pump stuff out. So I've been pumping out Yatsune Kami like nothing. It's been kind of fun. In addition, then we've gone with Isanagami here for the plus 20 on Nioh magic power. So obviously when they're in second mode, it's kind of showing you there. It's not really showing you there what you get in second mode. It's kind of weird. But the symbol that has like the weird swirly fox, and then the thing highlighted at the bottom, are the bonuses that you're going to get when you have these equipped as your secondary. This just gets split in half. So we're not too bothered about the anima bonus. I just took it for the T utensil bonus even. I just took it for the magic power. There are others you could take. You could take yokai ability damage, phantom plus 5% damage from Yatsune Kami could be good. You can get extra anima bonus if you're going with a specific element like water, for example. You get plus 5% on that if you wish to. But for me, this has been just fine. Extra 20 to the magic power, because that's what we're trying to focus in on. Coming across to skills, there's not too much to mention here, as long as you've got the basic shots and you've got the good passives. So you want to make sure you get the reduced damage. You want to make sure you get the extra health from elixirs. You want to make sure you get all of the resistances to make sure that you're not just going down as soon as the last boss just hits you with some of his abilities. Some of them are just going to kill you anyway, so just be aware of that. Obviously, we're going with extra capacity. I think everybody that's casting probably knows about that already. And then the rest of it is really up to you guys. What I really like protection, so I bring that a lot. Sloth is hyper strong. Where is that? Sloth's hyper strong, and I actually quite like. Where is it? I haven't really been using it in the playthrough, but I really like using. Can't find it. I can't find. I can't find Carnage. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm doing this like on a video as well. Wherever it is. Carnage. Here we go. That's why I haven't been using it. I really like Carnage mixed with Protection Talisman. That's because Carnage reduces your defense in exchange for giving you more attack power. But whilst your protection's on, you don't take physical damage anyway. So those two work incredibly well together. It's really good. As for Mystic Arts, as a majority caster, you're going to want faster casts. You have the amplification, which makes things last longer. I feel like that's good if you're only using Onmyo for buffs, which we aren't doing really. So I think using Awakening here, faster casts, just makes everything way easier. And skill customization then. So I've not really used too many of the kind of buffs and everything that we need. The only real one to mention is extra magic power on Switchblade Retribution, because I like switching into the high stance at the end of my combos, which is really good. Stat spread wise then, I'd probably say most people probably want to be between 120 and 130. I've ended up a little bit higher just because I've been repeating missions, do like the Konami missions and stuff. But I say, I think I mentioned this in some of the previous videos, but 30 Constitution and 30 Heart really work for me. Skill, just so you can use gear that you can use, but I think we're going to be respecing and getting rid of that. Well, in fact, I have done in my future playthroughs. So a lot of that skill actually ends up coming out, and we end up boosting courage later on. But at this point, you just want to power magic up and get it as high as you can to keep on increasing your damage. Titles, just in case you guys want to see that. I tend to let's highlight that here. I tend to highlight anima. Want more anima charge and more capacity, just because that's going to be good. Elemental damage taken again. So actually reducing the amount of elemental damage taken by quite a lot at this point. It's like 10% less. Pretty good. You can probably drop Extended Yokai Shift just because we're not really using it. So other realm resistant might be better. Soul Core, it's just nice if you get an extra Soul Cores, but again, it could probably come off, and you can have your kind of ability damage up, which would be probably quite good, depending on what you want to put your points into and why, right? We've got obviously got Nioh power, life and key here, are probably the big ones down there. That's all of that stuff. Don't think there's much else to show other than obviously you guys probably want to see. We are still with the clan that gives us. Does it just show me? Show me here. There we go. Akechi plus 100 Omnia power from that. So we're getting plus 120 without even using stats at this point. And I think the thing I should probably show is. So we'll show these already, didn't I? So I could show you in a second. Look, it gives us the 20 Omnia power as I was saying before, and then I showed the 3 Soul Cores. Does show those? It's in here anyway. So if you actually know Kami, just for bringing out and hurting stuff, the ONB is interchangeable depending on what kind of element you prefer to have. I really like lightning because it does obviously the slowdown thing. If you've got to do more damage with fire, you can do that. Ruben Schooner probably isn't required. I can't really tell as to whether or not that actually gives us even more anima charge or not. It still seems to take 3 hits to get us. It takes 3 magic hits to get Yasuno Kami off, with or without that. So that's completely interchangeable. I kind of just had it there. I've just kind of left it there as a hangover. Definitely be changed for something else. So equipment. And I think that's pretty much it. Just to make sure that I've kind of gone through stats here then. So we've got damage bonus, melee key consumption, and melee key damage. Pretty good. That's just on there because I'll be using that later. Weapons, just whatever you want there. Really like Black Fox Mask. Element damage, we've got some Switchcleave stuff on here. Untouched Onryo. As far as I'm aware, you can only actually get Untouched Onryo on the chest, hands, and then on the accessories. I got really lucky with these accessories as well. It's really, really strange to me that for whatever reason you can't seem to get it on the shoes or the Hakama, although I suppose if it got too high, it'd probably be a little bit uncontrollable. So we're close to 20%, which is pretty good. So that's how. Well, you know what I haven't done? I haven't shown you what I've got in my switch slots, have I? It's down at the bottom: Water Shot, Lightning Shot, Fire Shot, and then obviously on the other side we've got Protection, Sloth, Devigorate. So we can reduce enemies' defense, make sure that we don't take damage, slow them down, and then get tons of damage on them. So that's the character. That's the build we're going to be taking through the final mission. Hopefully this kind of just gives you guys like a place to aim for, like people that are looking at kind of where they should be ended up for when they get here. Don't worry too much about the level of the gear, unless it's like less than 100, then the defense boost isn't as important as the stats on the gear for you. I might even update those shoes to have something better on. I mean, outside of the Onmyo stuff, the only real stuff to care about is key and life. And if you haven't seen something amazing, put that on. I suppose just probably point out that, you know, keep making sure you're doing the Twilight mission so you get the quality Umbra sight, so you're able to actually put something good onto your gear. And I'm pretty sure that's it. There's not really anything else for me to say before we go to the final mission. I just kind of wanted to make sure this was here for anybody that was following along and kind of wanted to know kind of how their character should be looking before we go on through. And hopefully I'll catch you all in the next episode. I'll see you then.